Anders Ericsson, famous Swedish psychologist, wrote a book with the title Peak Secrets from the New Science of Expertise. Title of the book. He has mentioned in his book that Homo sapiens should actually be called as Homo exercens. Sapien means an individual who knows, who is aware of the things, that's all, simply aware of. Exercens means an individual who practice, individual experiment and practice. So it is believed that of all the species, human beings are the only species who strongly believe that practice is essential to make the improvements or to get a success. Unless the practice, unless you are involved in the organized practice, it is not possible to achieve the success. This is strongly believed by the human species. One thing at this particular point I would like to tell, all types of practice will not lead to success. There are two types of the topologies of practice. One is naive practice and the second one is the deliberate practice. Naive practice means an individual will involve in the work without knowing how much time has devoted for it, and he won't consider the feedback, and he won't take up any corrective measures, and he won't have devotion or dedication towards the work. So he will be without minding the duration he is spending on a particular task or sub-activities or activities, he will be doing it. That is naive practice. So it is not fruitful. And the second type of practice is the deliberate practice. So this deliberate practice is the scientific one. I'm going to say an individual will define the targets to start with. Once the targets are set, he will identify the suitable methods or logical methods to get into the work and reach the target. An ultimate focus will be there on him, or will be there on the work by him till he reach the target. And oftentimes at different stages of his doing, he oftentimes collect the feedback from the people who have networked there and implement the suggestions given by the people and remove the mistakes in his doing, and ultimately bringing in the corrective measures, ultimately reach the target. So in a scientific, the logical plan designed by the individual towards achieving targets. And these are all the things by Ericsson, with the content that has been there in his book by Ericsson. Having inspired by the research carried out by Ericsson in this particular direction, Malcolm Gladwell also authored one book called Outliers. I think most of you might have studied Outliers, the book, must have read the book Outliers, wherein the success stories of the individuals are included by him. He has mentioned certain the principles and rules also for progression. I'm really impressed with the principle as mentioned, which is nothing but 10,000 hours rule. 10,000 hours rule, an important principle is included in his book, which means that 10,000 hours of practice is a must on a particular skill or on a particular technology to acquire mastery. In simple terms, this is the principle. So it is 10,000 hours is a must. And one more, the neuroscientist by name Daniel Levitin also, through the extensive surveys and his research, he has mentioned that why 10,000 hours rule is attained so much significance. He has mentioned that 10,000 hours, the minimum time required for the brain to attain mastery on a field of a particular human activity. Mentioned that 10,000 hours time is a must for the human brain to attain mastery in a particular field of human activity. So scientific basis is also there, that the minimum time of 10,000 hours is a must. Then I would like to, this Gladwell also tried to mention, as mentioned, the different levels of knowledge that is possible, different levels of knowledge that is possible by spending different durations on a particular skill practice. Suppose if you are a learner, or suppose a teacher say, and if you are interested to say go through the new textbook or new subject, say, assume that with 1 hour you have only 1 hour time and spend 1 hour time only. So what is possible with that? Some basic introduction of the subject is known to you. Suppose if you spend 10 hours, so definitely you will gain a wider notion of the main concepts in it. Suppose if instead, if you spend 100 hours, your learning level or just learning content or whatever it is, that will be raised to the intermediate level. And if you spend say 1000 hours, definitely the knowledge that you gain, the expertise you will be getting will be, you will become the specialist, you will become an expert in it. 1000 hours ki definitely you will become an expert. And if you spend 10,000 hours in a particular subject, so definitely you will get the mastery, you will attain mastery over the skill you have practiced or over the technology you have practiced. So this 10,000 hours, suppose if you try to get 10,000 hours in your career, in how much span of time will it be possible? That depends upon the time you are devoting for a particular skill practice. For a particular skill practice, how much time you are spending each day. Suppose if you are spending 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 40 hours per week, so definitely it will take definitely take 5 years time. 5 years time to get 10,000 hours. So 5 years time పడుతుంది ఒక స్కిల్ ప్రాక్టీస్ రావాలంటే, to get mastery over a particular skill technology. On this rate of spending 8 hours per day పెడితే 5 days a week. So instead if you spend 4 hours only per day, 5 days a week, definitely it will take 10 years. Instead if you spend 2 hours only a day, 5 days a week, it will take 20 years time. 1 hour only a day, 5 days a week, it will be 40 years. Average lifespan of the human being is around 60 years now, 60-65 years. If you consistently spending 40 years time for attaining mastery of a particular skill, where will you derive the benefits of the skill, benefits of obtaining mastery of the skill? So you can derive better benefits, you will be benefited, your family will be benefited only when you learn, only when you acquire the mastery, obtain the mastery of a particular skill in the limited span of time. Say 5 years అయితే పర్లేదు, కానీ 10 years time తీసుకుంటా, 20 years time తీసుకుంటా, 30 years తీసుకుంటా అంటే what will be the use? It's of no use to the individual, no use to the family members. So one must they think properly and plan properly, so that with utmost dedication, skill practice for 10,000 hours is a must to obtain mastery over it, to derive the better benefits. So tomorrow, after practicing like this, so you may be able to produce the new products, you may be able to produce the new technology, you may be able to produce a new operating system, you may be able to produce the new algorithms and the new packages, and you may become a world-class artificial intelligence engineer, world-class machine learning engineer. And these are possible only through practice. So I would like to tell you one thing about the king of pop, Michael Jackson. It is heard and it is written somewhere, I read. He has consumed 20,000 hours of practice on pop. Famous singer, pop singer, writer, dancer. The skill that has exhibited, particularly in the early 1980s and middle 1980s, groundbreaking career, groundbreaking career, and the skill has exhibited unbeatable, and he is the king of pop, and no person in the second position or third position will be able to reach that particular level of skill in the near future. దగ్గరలో ఎవరు ఆ అచీవ్మెంట్స్ దగ్గర దాపులు 50% వస్తారని కూడా హోప్ లేదు. సచ్ ఎ గ్రేట్ పర్సనాలిటీ హ్యాస్ he became such a great personality through practice only. వాళ్ళందరూ రూల్స్ 10,000 ఏన్షియంట్ రూల్స్ 10,000 అవర్స్ చెప్తా ఉంటే ఆయన 20,000 అవర్స్ దాని మీద పెట్టాడు. ఐ స్పెండ్ 20,000 అవర్స్, జస్ట్ ఇమాజిన్. అందుకే 51 ఇయర్స్లోనే ఆయన వరల్డ్ క్లాస్ skill has obtained, exhibited. So that is possible only through practice. Tremendous practice is needed. Ultimately, a devotional practice is essential to attain mastery of the skill. So thank you for your patient listening. Hope you understand the principle of extensive practice to obtain mastery.